As WWE was on the verge of entering the 16-bit generation of home video game consoles, they continued to release games for platforms that had already seen previous releases. The Game Boy was christened with WWF Superstars, which was a good game despite the limitations of Nintendo's original handheld, and a game that, by some standards, was better than some of the NES's console releases. So when LJN partnered up for another release on the Game Boy, it seemed that it would build off of what was a strong initial release in Superstars. Spoiler, it wasn't. WWF Superstars 2 on the Game Boy looks and plays similar to Steel Cage Challenge on the NES, and if you saw the previous video in this series, you know that's not necessarily a good thing. It's clear that this game is pretty much Steel Cage Challenge, but for whatever reason, wasn't released with the same name. There's 6 superstars to choose from in this one: Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Sid Justice, The Mountie, The Undertaker, and Jake the Snake Roberts. The game allows for 1 or 2 players and has 3 different modes: one-on-one, tag team, or you can begin a tournament in your chase for the WWF Championship. Within the one-on-one, there's the option for a regular match or a steel cage match. This is a nice addition from Superstars before it, though the cage match looks like you're wrestling in a prison cell. To win, all you need to do is climb to the top of the cage, and you're victorious. Each of the wrestlers have close iterations of their entrance themes on the selection screen, and outside of Jake the Snake's, whose theme is different, they're all still pretty catchy. And I will say there's something about the Undertaker's theme in 8-bit pixel tune that makes it really enjoyable, at least by my ear. After you select your wrestler, you can select your difficulty, you get a brief introduction, and then the match begins. And like Steel Cage Challenge before it, that's where any goodwill this game might have built goes away. The tournament mode is more of a gauntlet, where your goal is to roll through each of your opponents, and once you defeat all 5, you're named the WWF Champion. WWF Superstars 2 for the Game Boy was the second release for the Nintendo handheld, and while it has a few differences from the release before it, it lacks in charm. It's just okay, and it doesn't really have much in the way of redeeming qualities. Though if you're looking for something you can pick up and play, mash buttons, and complete in 15 minutes or less while on the go, then this might be the wrestling game for you. Unless you have Superstars before it, then play that one instead. As a matter of fact, this is just Steel Cage Challenge for the Game Boy. Why it was released with a different name will forever be a mystery. If you have the option between Superstars 2 or the original, go with the latter. It's a much, much better experience.